Hi, welcome back to my channel. As always, it is so nice to have you practicing with me today. Today we're going to be focusing on forearm stands, so pincha. It's going to be quite strong, upper body focused flow, but remaining very well balanced. So just because we're focusing on the upper body does not mean we're neglecting the rest. So you do not need any props. If you aren't comfortable with practicing pincha, you can always do it. There's no expectations to actually hold the shape. We're going to be doing some drills sprinkled through the flow. And you're more than welcome to bring your mat a little bit closer to the wall if you want to try pincha or forearm stand at any point throughout the practice. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start seated today in a cross-legged seat, bringing the hands on the knees, and just closing the eyes, taking a moment to arrive here on your mat, to center yourself, and to let go of anything that has happened today or during the beginning of this week. And to encourage our body and mind to let go, let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, release. And then start to breathe in and out through the nose, drawing the breath down into the lower belly. And if possible, creating a two-part breath. So when the lower belly is full, breathing in, expanding the rib cage, lifting the chest. And then exhaling, squeezing rib cage together, squeezing navel back towards the spine. If you want to feel the breath more, you can always bring your hands on your stomach and chest. We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths, becoming more and more self-aware. Noticing if there are any areas in the body that may feel a little bit tighter or may feel a little bit sore. And without holding any judgment towards what you find, just using the breath to explore how the body's feeling. Let's go ahead and start to move in half circles with the neck. Moving at your own pace, following the rhythm of the breath. And if you feel like there's any spot that feels really nice or that needs a little more attention, you can always pause there for a little longer. Slowly, let's come back through center, keeping the hands on the knees. Let's start to roll out the shoulders. And then you can bring the fingertips on the tips of the shoulders, and then let's make some big circles with the elbows. And so breathing in as you draw a line up, breathing out as you bring the elbows back and down. And let's switch directions. And then let's go with the whole arm, big circles. And switch directions. And next time the arms reach above the head, let's pause here. Side bend to the right. Right hand can come on the mat beside you or on the floor. And then let's circle the arms forward. Side bend over to the left. And then bring both arms forward. Let's hold here, reach. Maybe drop the head down. And then let's walk the hands all the way back to the knees, interlace the hands at the lower back, breathe in, open up the heart. And then either stay here or let's bring the crown of the head down towards the mat. Arms lift up and away from your back. Slowly, let's release. Bring the hands in front of you. Let's roll over into a tabletop, where you can start to move into cat and cow, breathing in, opening up the front body, exhaling to push the mat away, and breathing in to open, exhaling to round. And last 3. And last one here. And then coming back to a neutral spine. As you breathe in, right arm reaches up. Let's circle the right wrist in one direction and in the other. And then let's thread the needle, bringing the right shoulder, right side of the head down on the mat. Left arm reaches forward. And let's extend the left leg back. Now we're going to come into a side bend over the left leg. So let's lift the left arm up and then push off your right arm, lift the chest, side bend over the left leg. And that transition takes a little while to get used to, but once you get the gist of it, it's pretty straightforward. And let's cartwheel both hands all the way back down to the mat. Ball of the left foot stays planted. Let's lift the right knee into the chest and then step the right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee down. Anjanasana. Let's reach the arms up and overhead. And then exhale. Let's come into half splits, reaching the arms back and up. 5 times. Inhale, Anjanasana. Trying to open up the heart space. Exhale, half splits. Inhale. Two more. Last one. Okay, let's hold here in half splits. Fingertips come down to the mat. Let's point the right toes and lift the right foot. And if that's too much, you can pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Drop the right foot down. Let's come into standing splits. Left leg rises. And you can circle your left ankle in one direction and in the other. And as you breathe out, bend your left knee. Let's cross the left knee behind the right ankle and sit down. Right hand comes behind you for a twist. The left arm reaches up. Exhale, twist to the right. 5 deep breaths. Each inhale, growing tall, opening up the chest. Each exhale, twisting a little deeper. On your next inhale, let's unwind. Counter bow to the left. Inhale, come back up through center. Let's bring both hands behind us. Uncross the legs. Prepare for reverse tabletop. So both feet are hip width distance apart. Index fingers are pretty much parallel to each other. Inhale, let's lift. Finding a nice stretch in the wrists and the shoulders. And let's hold, squeeze the glutes. Maybe add a little bit of a rock back and forth, only if that feels nice. For 3. And then slowly release. Let's cross the shins. Come back to tabletop. Left arm reaches up, inhale. Let's circle the left wrist and switch directions. And then breathing out, thread the needle. Let's reach the right arm forward and right leg back and hold. So here, imagining you're sending the breath into the left side of your chest, trying to expand into the left shoulder, feeling a nice stretch there. Now for the side bend, let's first reach the right arm up, push into your left shoulder, use the strength of the core to rise up and side bend over the right leg. And then as you breathe out, cartwheel the hands down. Come onto the ball of the right foot, lift the left knee into the chest. And then let's step the left foot between the hands, drop the right knee, Anjaneyasana. Now if you find that reaching up and opening the heart space is a little bit painful in the lower back or you're feeling a lot of compression, try to come slightly out of the lunge. So slightly more hips over the right knee. And remember to squeeze the glutes a lot. And you want to lift up and out of the waist. As you breathe out, let's come into a half splits, airplane wings for 5. Inhale, Anjaneyasana with a slight back bend. And moving slow, 4. 3. 2. Let's stay here, fingertips come down on the mat, point the left toes, and let's lift that left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing splits, right leg rises. Let's circle the right ankle in one direction and in the other. And then bend your right knee. Let's cross the right knee behind the left ankle. Sit down, preparing for a twist. Left hand comes behind you. Right arm reaches up as you breathe in. Exhale, twist for 5. 4. Now as you inhale, let's unwind. Exhale, counter bow to the right. Come back through center. Once again, uncross the feet, hands come behind you. Let's lift into reverse tabletop, but make sure there's enough space between your hands for the hips to go through. So inhale, lift. Exhale, let's pull the hips through and hold for 5, maybe lifting the legs, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit down, cross the shins, plant the hands, high plank. And exhale, come all the way down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. On your next inhale, let's come high on the toes. Bend the knees, look forward, step or float, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. High mountain, rise up. Let's cactus the arms, open up the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. So we're going to do a few sun salutations, but adding some variations each time. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Let's internally rotate the elbows and then see if you can drop both elbows on the mat at the same time. For 5, lift back up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift, right leg rises, 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open up the hip. Deep breath in here. And then let's step the right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee, Anjaneyasana, open up the chest. Trying to go a little bit deeper for 2. And 1, slowly release, standing splits. 3 more breaths here. Maybe the right hand wraps around the right ankle. And slowly, let's step the left foot beside the right foot. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, high mountain, rise up. Cactus the arms, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift to breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, chaturanga. And deep breath in here. Now as we breathe out, let's drop the elbows and hold it there. And then we're just going to shift the weight forward. So think of nose going towards the thumbs. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You can do less if it's too much. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can lift your elbows up again, downward facing dog. If you need to drop the knees down for that transition, that's fine. Left leg rises. Bend the left knee, open up the hip. One deep breath in here. And then let's step the left foot between the hands. Drop the right knee, Anjanasana, finding a little bit of a heart opener, a little bit of a back bend, making sure you're not compressing the lower back. And then let's bring both hands down on the mat, nice and controlled, into standing splits. This time, maybe left hand wraps around the left ankle. And then as you breathe out, right foot steps beside the left, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. High mountain rise up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's bring the hands to the heart space. We're going to lift on the toes. Make sure your feet are hip width distance apart. And then we're just going to start to lean back and bring the knees forward. Okay, go as much as you can. And then let's straighten the legs again. Let's do 2 more. Lean back. And come back up. Keep squeezing navel in. Last one. Ooh. And come back up. High mountain, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Drop the elbows. And then from here, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And on your next exhale, let's drop the elbows down. Right leg reaches up high. And now when we come forward, knee to nose, let's lift the elbows. And then drop the elbows as you go back into a 3-legged dolphin for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's step the right foot between the hands. Crescent lunge as we rise up. Exhale, let's cactus the arms, open up the heart, maybe interlace the hands at your lower back, and try to come into, once again, a little bit of a heart opener. Squeezing the inner thighs here for balance. Slowly, let's release. Reach the arms up. Exhale, standing splits. From here, we're going to lift the chest. Right hand stays on the mat. Left arm reaches up, half moon. And then very slow motion, see if maybe you can already lift the right hand off the mat. You might need to micro bend your right knee. Let's come into reverse warrior. And now we're going to cartwheel the left forearm down on the mat. So left forearm comes down, right arm reaches up. And let's hold. Now let's see if we can drop the left knee, bend the left knee, right hand holds the top of the left foot. If it's too much on the left forearm, you can always come onto the left hand. Good. Slowly release, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. Right arm reaches forward. See if you can maybe turn your left hand so it's pointing towards the right. Let's come onto a forearm wild thing. And now right forearm comes down. Here you have the option of maybe interlacing the thumbs, which is my preferred variation, or you can keep your hands flat. Let's walk the feet up as close as possible. Dolphin pose for 5. And slowly walk the feet back, undo the bind of the hands, drop the knees, hips, pull the chest through Sphinx pose, and maybe go a little bit deeper if it feels nice by lifting the elbows. Exhale, come all the way down, hands underneath the shoulders, downward facing dog, make your way back. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Now same thing, let's drop the elbows, lift the left knee. 5 times, lift the elbows knee to nose for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left foot steps between the hands, crescent lunge, rise up. I'm very sweaty already, so I hope that you're here with me. Let's cactus the arms, open up the heart, and then once again you can interlace the hands if that feels like a nicer stretch, and try to go into a deeper back bend. The right leg can stay straight, bent to protect your lower back, but if you're pretty comfortable there, you can always straighten it a little bit more. Just make sure you are squeezing both glutes. Slowly release, reach the arms up. Standing splits, tip forward. Now from here, we flex the right toes and try to stack right hip over the left hip, right shoulder over the right shoulder, half moon. Looking down at the mat, maybe looking off to the right if you want to challenge yourself. And if you really want to challenge the balance, maybe looking up. Just be careful, and you can always micro bend that left knee. Especially if you're a little bit hypermobile, it's always good to have a little micro bend. Let's see if we can lift the left hand off the mat. And then very slow motion, transition into reverse warrior. And then as you breathe out, let's cartwheel the right forearm down. Left arm reaches up and hold. And let's drop the right knee. See if we can hold the top of the right foot with the left hand. And hold here. Again, here you're squeezing the right glute. And in the left foot, you can almost imagine that you're pulling the floor towards you with your left foot. So both legs are still engaged. And also we're not collapsing in the right shoulder, we're lifting out of it. Release your right toes. Let's prepare for wild thing. I'm going to bring my right hand more towards the center of the mat, and then slowly coming onto the outer blade of the right foot. Left foot steps over the right leg. From here, Dolphin. I'm choosing to interlace the thumbs. You can make sure that your upper arms are the right length by holding them with your hands. Let's walk the feet nice and close. And then we're going to lift the right leg. And 5 times just lift onto the left toes for 5, 4, 3, and then on 1, we can hop. And switch. Left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, hop. And release. Let's come into child's pose. Forehead on the mat, arms by your feet. Maybe rolling the forehead side to side. And very slowly, we're going to use the help of the hands to stand or to sit on the heels. Tuck the toes. And let's make our way to the back of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, let's roll up high mountain. Exhale, hands to the heart space. So we're going to do what we did at the beginning or at the top of the mat, where we come on the heels and start to lean back. You can do the same thing, or if you're feeling comfortable, but please take it slow, maybe you want to catch your ankles. So think of camel pose, but with the knees off the mat. It's not the most stable thing, so just be careful. Please take it all at your own risk. And if you don't feel comfortable with it, please stop and maybe just take a camel pose instead, or work on just finding balance, maybe a little bit higher up. So we're going to come high on the toes. And again, very slowly, finding a point of focus, making sure your feet are about hip width distance apart. Bending the knees, finding a back bend. And holding there. And then very slowly come out. That was not slow, but that's the idea. All right, deep breath in. Let's reach the arms up, and then let's bend the knees to fold forward. Grabbing opposite hand to opposite elbow, knees very generously bent so that we protect the lower back. And then take a deep breath in, halfway lift. Let's walk the hands into high plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Let's bring our elbows down on the mat for the option of holding pincha. Both elbows at the same time, or one at a time. Hands can either be flat or any other variation that you prefer. Walk the feet in really close. Lift one leg. And then let's float and hold. Legs can stay wide apart, or you can play around with some shapes. And then slowly, you can make your way down. Coming back to child's pose. From child's pose, you can slide forward, puppy pose, keeping the chest and chin on the mat. Or if that's uncomfortable for your neck, just forehead on the mat, maybe bending the elbows and bringing the thumbs to the back of your head for an extra little tricep stretch. We're going to take one more pincha. Option to either kick up again, maybe try the second leg, or to just stay in dolphin, lifting one leg. That's a great strengthening place to be. It's not easy to just stay in dolphin, so please, that is enough if that's all that you feel like doing today. If you want to take it one step further, you can try working on your pincha press, which is lifting both legs at the same time without jumping. And a great tip for that one is in the beginning to bring your forehead to your thumbs, just to take off a little bit of weight from the shoulders. So you can try that, or you can try just shoulders in the air. I think I might do the forehead on the thumbs today. We will see. And you can, of course, go against the wall. Just know that if you're using the wall against your back, you're taking a lot of weight off of your shoulders. So it's okay to learn the movement, but it's ultimately not how you want to be practicing your press. So it's better to do it without the wall. Maybe feet on blocks or feet on a chair, something like that. All right. And again, you can just kick up or you can hold dolphin. And so for the press, you're going to bring the feet quite wide apart, maybe hip width distance, maybe even wider. Come onto the toes, and then slowly press up. And then you can very slowly come back down the same way. Good, and then let's just extend the arms out in front of you. Please take more time if you are still there. We're going to meet in a ragdoll. Knees can be very bent. You can just dangle your upper body side to side. And making sure to shake out the head. Sometimes we can build up a lot of tension in the neck with Pincha. So it's a good idea to film yourself as well if you're trying these things to see exactly how you are positioning your head. If you're looking far ahead and you're really scrunching the back of the neck, then maybe that's why you have a lot of tension. So you can try to maybe look up a little bit less and mainly use your eyeballs to look up instead of the whole head. Little things like that. Let's walk the hands forward, make our way onto a seat. And then we'll go all the way down to the mat. Good job. One vertebra at a time. Let's bring the knees into the chest and rock side to side. And just to stretch out the whole back body, we're going to come into one of my favorite stretches, which is plow pose. If this is wildly uncomfortable for you, you can always do something else. I'm just here to guide, not to give you orders, so please feel free to modify. And very slowly, let's come back down. Can bring the knees into the chest for happy baby, holding the outer blades of the feet or peace fingers around the big toes. Maybe starting to rock side to side. Keeping the legs either bent or maybe straightening them if you feel like you want an extra stretch. And then you can go ahead and bring both knees into the chest. Hug the knees in, deep breath in, forehead to the knees. Let's hold and squeeze for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it go. Shavasana. And deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, let it go. And another deep inhale. And release. And allowing yourself a moment of peace and quiet, a moment to let go, to not force any state of mind. So wherever your mind drifts, as long as it stays in this moment, but trying to keep your focus easy, not controlling anything, letting go of any harshness, letting things flow a little bit more. And then noticing if you can feel the flow inside the body. So all the different tingling sensations and buzzing sensations, the pulsing of the heartbeat. And letting all those sensations envelope you. And with each breath out, feeling yourself sinking into them a little bit more. You can slowly start to make your way out of Shavasana. And of course, you can stay there longer if you have the time for it today, and please do so. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you managed to challenge yourself a little bit. Maybe you surprised yourself with what you could do today. And no matter what you did, I hope that you are proud that you showed up. So thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day.